What's going on, lads? Welcome to episode 9 of the Sorare 26 journey. Today we're going to be going through game week 13, this upcoming weekend, previewing all the best matchups, building lineups, and looking back a little bit at game week 11, which was this past weekend. We've got a midweek. There's a couple of bits going on in this midweek as well. We've got a full La Liga calendar, Europa League as well. And yeah, we'll get stuck into everything and anything that's happened in the last week or so in the Sorare sphere. So yeah, hope you do enjoy the video, lads. If you do, please do leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and there is a link below if you are new to Sorare and you haven't signed up. That link will get you $150, pounds or euros worth of market credits upon sign up. Before I do get any further, I do want to thank those of you that use my link to come back to Sorare. So those of you that already had an account this past weekend, I don't know if I can, how am I going to, I don't even know if I can find it anymore. But basically, oh yeah, in the Connect maybe. Maybe not actually, but it should have been in here. But basically, me and 3 other people, we all hit over 320 points in any in-season lineup. There was like a little promotion Sorare doing, a Sorare duos situation. And if you both did it in an in-season lineup, you both get $40 each. And I managed to do it with 3 people. So if you're watching this, shout out to you. Let me know in the comment section. And yeah, I did connect with more. I think I connected with 10 people, but some people didn't buy cards and some people didn't even play. Some people obviously missed the target of 320, which is obviously fine. But yeah, 3 people did hit it with me. So yeah, just want to shout you guys out. But yeah, let's look back on game week 11. I have brought in a few reinforcements for this week, this past weekend. Game week 11 was all about trying to hit that 4th streak, wasn't it, in the Eredivisie comp. Sadly, we fell short. It was still a really good week. We hit a little bit of like podium cash, $28. That was actually in the Eredivisie comp. I hit a card, which was in a tier 2 in under 23. I hit a good amount of essence. We did some really nice crafting. And I hit 3 hot streaks, but sadly it's not sad that I hit the hot streaks, obviously, but the ones I hit don't really count towards my Sorare 26 tracker, which is quite annoying, in the sense, like, I hit the MLS 3rd streak, which, is obviously a big part of the title today, is all about I'm now into the MLS Masters comp, which is, yeah, the highly anticipated 3rd streak and 5 streak in MLS. I'm really hoping they bring this to the Euro sort of side of the game, like, for Sorare 26. But yeah, all the money or anything that I win or don't win or whatever in MLS, because it's like technically last season in a way. It didn't come out when, the European fixtures and, leagues started on Sorare 26. Like, I haven't accounted for any of that in my Sorare 26 tracker. But yeah, there's a special comp this weekend. I'm only in the baby one. I'm in the 3rd streak one. There is a 5th streak one, which is even more exclusive, obviously harder to hit. But this is the cash prizes right now. Cash down to 40th, bit of essence after that. And there's currently 84 players. I think that'll get up to probably about 120, I reckon. So it's like a 1 in 3 shot maybe of hitting some cash, which is minimum $50, which is really nice. But sadly, this MLS Masters comp doesn't count towards your MLS in-season streak. And I'm on streak 4 this weekend in MLS. I can delete this for now because I haven't made my mind up yet on my challenger lineups. I haven't made my mind up on any lineups actually, for that matter. But yeah, going back to game week 11, I got sidetracked there by the MLS. It was a really good week, but sadly didn't hit the streak that I really wanted to hit, which was the Eredivisie streak. I went balls deep into Groningen. I bought Breda card, sorry. And yeah, I really went for it, and I'll show you how the lineups ended up looking. The La Liga budget boys almost did it, just under 530 points, finished 29th. I don't know what I say I don't know what I was thinking with the captaincy. I know exactly what I was thinking. Betis played Friday night, and obviously I've got Cucho and Pablo Fornals in there. They ended up winning, which I kind of expected them to probably win, but I didn't really expect Fornals to pop off like that. And I had that armband on Fornals. I obviously just shit myself. It was a Friday. I thought the Friday curse could come and get me, but then on reflection, it's like, well, if the Friday curse does come and get me, and I have Captain Fornals, well, I'm dead anyway. If he doesn't get the decisive elsewhere, so it didn't really matter in that sense. But yeah, I ended up captaining Escandel. I thought, away to Elche, there might be a decent chance of a clean sheet there. My theory was kind of on track, in the sense of yeah, he's gonna get all around score, but just can he get that, the decisive, right? Sadly, the decisive fell to Fornals. I just didn't captain him. He still got me 20 AA, which is amazing for a keeper. He just didn't get the clean sheet, which is the big thing. Whereas with an outfielder, like, I knew Fornals would get a good amount of AA. It was just whether or not he would get the decisive. He almost got another decisive, but it got given as an own goal. So from cash, I was, 46 points off. I don't know the math, but if someone is watching that can do the math for me, had I captained Fornals, like, would have it changed? I think I would have been very, very close to cash. But to be fair, the scores were astronomical this past weekend. Like, 655 won the comp, 89, 91, 81, and captained his lowest score in 69 there. So yeah, it was a really high scoring week in the La Liga comp. I almost hit the streak in La Liga of rare, but I didn't. I'm having a stinker with Belgium right now, lads. I've mentioned it, I think, already on content, but like, I don't know, I'm falling out of love with Belgium. Like, the fact that it comes out first, I get really excited for it. But like, genuinely, I don't know, I've got my AirPod in. Genuinely, like, I just can't really get up for it right now. And I've got some decent players. Obviously, complete wrong captain there, but I think the thing that's killing me is, like, I only really have one goalkeeper, one in-season keeper, and it just kills my sort of, ability to have multiple lineups, right? Like, I just don't have multiple, which of course is going to just dampen and lessen your chances of hitting streaks and stuff. So I get why I'm down on it, but like, I'm almost out on it. Like, I'm almost quite close to just being like, let me just forget, Belgium and just sell up the Belgium cards. But I'm not there yet. I'm almost there. Then we get to the Eredivisie. So I went all in, didn't I? 4 lineups. I really thought one of these would give me a chance. And to be fair, like, into the last game, this lineup here, which is funny enough my last lineup on paper, my least prioritized, Melle Mullenstein pulls out an 88 all-around score. This guy's been my best buy so far in the Eredivisie. Unbelievable. I think he was like £20. Insane. But Cherry as my captain, red card. So, yeah, there was a glimmer of hope that could get to 460. It obviously didn't. The closest was this one at 403. Had Brium or Edvardsen got a decisive each, I kind of walked to that 460. I got the clean sheet. I got the defender right. Holtby. None of my midfielders really scored well. Like, Veerman was the highest at 53. So that was quite disappointing. All my midfielders just blank, basically. Ressink had a couple of big chances. I think he had one big chance missed. He could have scored 4. I watched the game. Taha scored an unbelievable free kick. But, going back to the tracker, like, I'm not too bothered, really, if I'm being honest. And I've even strengthened, like, more so than what I had before with the addition of a Debusa, however you pronounce it. And I've got him in my midweek lineup right now because I've got like 3 go-ahead boys already. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just get the goalie? He was like £84 on auction, £85, sorry. And yeah, I thought, you know what? Like, I just won 21 quid from that one lineup there. The Joey Veerman lineup in D1. Scores were quite low as well, actually, coming to think of it. Like, the fact that that's winning cash, this one here, like, is kind of wild. Top 40 got cash. But anyway, yeah, I thought, you know what, let me just go all out. I've got 5 in-season keepers now in the Eredivisie, so I'm giving myself a chance. I've got 1 D1, I've got a couple of D2, sorry. Hopefully get a couple more into D1. And I'm just going to give it a good go. I know that, like, the 2x is basically done after this weekend, and, like, the streaks are less, but going back to the spreadsheet, like, I'm not bothered in the nice, in like, not an arrogant way, but like, I've only spent half of what I won. So like, I'm up for the season no matter what happens now. Obviously, if I keep buying more, then, that number might, that profit margin will obviously lessen, like, since buying the Debusa, of course, like, if I keep adding, but I'm in a position where, like, I don't think I'll add any more. If there's any freak injuries, fine. But I'm really happy with, what I've got in the Eredivisie. I'm going to give it a good go. I've got 20 odd games left. What can I do with the streak? Like I said, I know they've halved now, but it is what it is. MLS was really good. I managed to hit the streak in both lineups. It was 430. It was a $50 streak in rare. So that's going for the 4th streak this weekend. I hit the challenger streak on the dot. I needed 420 points. And thanks to Pedro Goncalves, he had a penalty in like the 89th minute. Trubin clean sheet. I can't believe I didn't play Otamendi in this lineup. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't have a super lineup there. And I actually hit the contender streak, funny enough, by 1 point, which is just hilarious. Nishikawa with a double game week, and he got the clean sheet in the second game. Tolkien captain, almost right. Senior, outscored him marginally. Krivak off the bench was really important there. So going for the second streak in contender again. The last week of it being boosted. And then, yeah, I mean, classic for me this past weekend was really, really fruitful. I mean, I know I haven't won any essence there, but going into, like, under 23, I finished 15th in Super Rare, 18th in D1 Rare. It was a really good week from, like, an essence perspective. I didn't craft too many good cards, if I'm being completely honest. I did craft a decent super one. I'll show you what's going on. I've bought a couple of MLS cards for the hot streaks and the for the special comp this weekend. I have strengthened in Challenger. I brought in a couple of St. Mirren collection pieces, and I've brought in a second Shamal George. They've got a good couple of fixtures coming up. I already had one, and there's like a promotion going on right now, isn't there, where if you buy a Real Limited card, yeah, the double up promo, I think it's today only. If you buy a Real Limited card, you can get a 10% chance of a second card from the same league and scarcity, 20% chance of a crafting clue, and then 70% chance of essence. So I bought a couple of cards this morning off instant buy, starting with James Wilson. I actually got 2 crafting clues from that first one. I should have just left it there. I got 100 essence from George. I had 100 essence from Tansa. Same for this Dan and Dululu, whatever his name is. I bought Declan John off a trader, and then yeah, I did buy these 2 from Sorare as well. So I ended up getting just over 1,000 essence. Crafted this dud. So yeah, it weren't all dandelions and daisies, sadly. And then I did get a little pencil off Basil bots, because of obviously the MLS comp and stuff. So hoping to hit that 4th streak this weekend. But as far as other buys go, I bought in a Langoni for the MLS Masters. I went on a bit of a Lennon Miller surge. I gifted Andrew Laird does a rookie under 23 series where he just plays rookie cards in under 23, which is obviously amazing. And I bought a Lennon Miller limited rookie card for him after I'd bought a couple of I saw the rookie was up for like £6. There was a couple of them, so I was like, I'm buying them, and I ended up trading for this. So he's technically in season Serie A card for Udinese. I got rid of some duds, a couple of Belgium and contender cards I'm not going to sort of buy or use, use anymore, and £3 for Lennon Miller. Like I'm not expecting him to just like walk into the team and stuff, but he's a card I followed for ages, and I really wanted his rookie card, and I managed to get a couple of rares, and I did end up getting, I went overboard. I went and got the super rare as well. I paid like £40 I think for the super rare. Again, it's a long-term play. Like I'm not expecting him to be unbelievable this season, or maybe at the end of the season sort of thing, like once he gets going. But he's just moved from Motherwell to Serie A, in Udinese. And then I ended up crafting Fran Navarro, which was my only super rare craft of on Tuesday. Really happy with it, to be honest. He came off the bench midweek and scored. He's like he's a number 9, typical number 9 that doesn't get all around score. But like sometimes you need these guys. Like low L15s helps with the cap. And, he does seem to score goals now and again. He was at Porto. I don't know too much about him. I need some intel in the comments, lads. If you follow Braga, if you follow the Portuguese league, let me know what he's like. Like, is he any good? I'll be honest, I haven't really seen him play. But they do have a good fixture this weekend, so I'm really tempted to maybe try and get him into one of my good teams. He sells for about 50-60 quid. So it was a really good craft. Like, really happy with that. Wasn't a star or anything, of course. But, definitely happy with it. And then, outside of that, lads, I don't think I've done many more buys, to be honest. Those were my crafts. So I crafted Danny Rabba. I won this guy from the Tier 2 under 23. He actually looks pretty good. Plays for FC Cologne. Looks pretty decent. I crafted Luka Susic, who used to be so good at Salzburg. What happened to those days? I bought 4 Andre Ayus because I'm an absolute degen and an idiot. And I did strengthen my Nice collection with a Boudaoui, or however you pronounce it. I've got his classic card from last season, but yeah, Hicham Boudaoui, he's a centre midfielder for Nice. Can give you a decent score now and again. But I'm really low on in-season midfielders in Ligue 1, so yeah, he came in there. I can show you that. That's been added to the spreadsheet. And yeah, outside of that, lads, there isn't many ingoings or outgoings. There's the Debusa, that was the last one you'd have saw, like in-season wise. And yeah, apart from that, I wouldn't have known. So this was the day after. So last Friday, they did some sort of like Eredivisie like double up promo or something. And I ended up buying 2 collection pieces for Go Ahead to get me to 3%. And I ended up crafting, like I had a bit of essence, like they gave you essence with the card or whatever. I crafted this Tier 2, who's the goalkeeper for Volendam. He's under 23. And yeah, they've actually got a really good matchup this weekend. So I'm probably going to play him. And so yeah, that was a really lucky little pull that obviously I didn't do on stream or even on a Tuesday or whatever. It was a Friday pull, Friday morning actually, little random one. So yeah, I have been kind of busy buying a few bits here and there, nothing crazy, just adding to collections, buying some classic cards that I've wanted for a long time, like your Lennon Millers and stuff. And then obviously the MLS cards, looking ahead to this weekend, which of course is the Masters, and I'm looking to get that 4th streak. I do have a little offer from somebody. I don't know what it's all about. He's after my Harry Toffolo. Probably not going to sell for 41 pence. He's probably not even worth 41 pence, but I can't be asked accepting that for now. So as far as the profit and loss goes, we're hovering above that 51%, or just under 52% mark. I've obviously bought in a few cards. As far as the money I made from the duos, which was like £90, $120, I've made a little miscellaneous tab just to like add into that, because like I didn't win it from any of these comps, but I did use it to buy cards and stuff. So I thought I should put that in there. I can't imagine there'll be many other things that, if any, I'll end up adding into this at all, unless they do the duos thing again or whatever, any other promotions maybe. But yeah, profit and loss is very much in the same region as last week, sorry. Hovering above that 51%, which I'm obviously over the moon about. Like, we've only been playing like 6, 7, 8 game weeks maybe. For some leagues, a bit less. So I'm definitely on track, but that doesn't mean I could just blank the whole season now, couldn't I, and then not get above that 100%, and at that point I'm obviously not in any profit. But yeah, more like I'd bite your hand off to be in this position, before the start of the season. So yeah, really, really happy about that. Now, I am very excited to share the Game Week 11 Premier League, the players' prediction efforts. So I managed to go 9 for 12, or 9 out of 12, which is almost double what I got last, Game Week 9. I absolutely smashed the Ligue 1 one. Look at that, 66 Tolisso, Cabal on a 92, and Lamine Camara with a 74. Unbelievable. Very, very happy with that. I was quite on the money, in La Liga. Anthony 7 points away from getting me 10 out of 12. I was all in on Bundesliga as well. 3 out of 3. Ben Sabini, El Canusen, and Fabio Vieira scored really well for Hamburg. Premier League probably needs the most work, I would say. Mateta just obviously got the 60. Semenyo blanked, as did Rodgers. So yeah, I definitely need to scrub up on my Premier League knowledge, but we'll be doing that again today. So Game Week 13. And yeah, excited to getting over the 10 mark would be really fun. But 9 out of 12, that's good going compared to what I had previously. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. I think I might need to attend to baby trades a minute, lads. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, now the baby trades has been attended to, I'm going to have a little look at what I've got going on streak-wise this upcoming weekend. What streaks am I on in, all the comps that I'm playing right now. So I'm still yet to hit La Liga streak 1. I've got a chance this midweek, but I don't think I will. As you can see there, 176 points. But yeah, definitely won't hit it this midweek. I might have a chance this weekend. Some good matchups to look ahead to. We'll look at the matchups after I go over this in a minute. MLS streak number 4. If I hit it, $100 in market credits, $200 in cash. So really big chance to redeem myself, to be honest, in MLS. I've had a terrible year, to be honest. Like streak wise, everything. Like, I've not really hit much podium cash in rare. Did okay in super rare before selling up there, but yeah, this would be a nice little chance to redeem myself for sure. I'll have 2 lineups going out, and then I'll be playing the Masters, so I would have 3, if the Masters weren't going on. I'm on contender streak number 2, so it's still double rewards for 1 more week. So that'll be hopefully $40 there if I can hit it, 420. And I am on streak number 3 in Challenger, so that's why I bought that the second Shamal George in. I'm really trying to maximize my chances of hitting that 3rd streak, because that would really help sort of dent what I've spent in Challenger. Like, I've only won £105 so far, with over a £500 net spend. So yeah, I've got like £515 to make up there, £415 to make up. So hitting that $200 will obviously dent that quite nicely. It obviously doesn't put me in profit in that region, but it definitely helps towards that. And then the weekend after, then I'll be going for that 460 hopefully, which is $400. It won't be 800 at that point. I really hope they bring back like the double boost, like the boosted rewards and stuff, because I do think card prices will probably not nosedive, but I definitely think like the appetite to buy cards and spend a lot of money on them will definitely decrease a little bit once this promotion comes. Maybe it doesn't, but that's just like kind of my prediction. I won't be playing Prem. I am playing Ligue 1, so I'm going for the first streak there. I might play Bundesliga. I'll show you what I've got for Bundesliga. Let me know. Well, yeah, we'll see if it's worth sort of maybe buying one in-season card for that. I'm going for Jupiler, and I'm going for Eredivisie. So I've got 1, 2, maybe 3, but we won't count that for now. 3 with Ligue 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So going for 7 streaks, and the max I can win is what, 40, 240, 280, 480, 520, 540, 560. Like, if I maximized all my streaks, that'd be $560, from those, never mind the podium cash, if I was lucky enough to get on the podium. So yeah, some really exciting chances to hit some good streaks. I really hope I hit the MLS one. It's 450 points. Really praying I can hit that. But yeah, as far as the big matchups go this upcoming weekend, Bayern are massive favourites at home to Werder Bremen. I think a lot of people, I've heard there's 169 people on the 5th streak in limited, and if they all hit that, Sorare would have to pay out like nearly $900,000. It's $5,000 for each one. I'm not saying they would all hit it. Like, even if half hit it, it's still like 400-500 grand, which is nuts. Never mind Rare as well. But anyway, PSG are at home to Auxerre. Zenit is a big favourite in contender. City at home to Burnley for the Premier League, players and managers. Fenerbahce is at home. Zagreb away at home in contender. PSV away to my Excelsior boys. Hopefully the Excelsior boys can put up a fight there. We've got Benfica at home to Gil Vicente. Spartak Moscow are at home in contender. Ajax are at home in the Dutch comp. Celtic are at home. That'll be a big one for the Challenger comp. Barca are at home to Sociedad. There's some big matchups this weekend. Portugal, Sporting are away. Gala are away, but still massive favourite, as are Porto. I'm expecting a big week. It could be interesting because there's a lot of midweek Champions League and stuff next week, isn't there? Or maybe Europa League again, actually. So this next midweek, I can actually have a quick look at that. Or maybe I can see it on here. So inside. So yeah, game week 14 will be the midweek. So there's a bit of Champions League as well. Bayern, Real play. Basically, a lot of the Champions League teams play. So don't be surprised if there's a bit of rotation this weekend, with some of the big clubs. I can definitely foresee that happening. As much as hopefully I don't, and you guys don't get sort of affected by it, but just be wary of it. There might be players that are 80-90%, but that doesn't, the people saying that, this is no shade on Inside. I'm just saying the people, the experts, they only know so much. Same with us, excuse me. We only know so much, right? Be cautious on that. On a little side note, why I'm really excited about the MLS comp this weekend, the Masters one, is because we've got flexible entry. So if I've got my 5 players sort of locked in, and I find out that someone's not starting, I can take him out before the game starts, or his game starts, and replace him with someone else. So yeah, that really helps with these type of comps, because you've worked hard to get into these type of comps, the 3rd streak, the 5th streak, whatever. You don't want to be fucking just nailed by a DMP, and your whole sort of strategy and everything you've worked towards that season goes out the window. I think it's a nice. They did it last time there was an MLS comp like this a couple of months ago. So yeah, kudos to Sorare for implementing that again. Hopefully one day we have that across the board, because yeah, you know what I'm like. My stance on DMPs. I don't need to sort of go into it, but I just do think it makes for a better experience for everyone. But anyway, I understand. I understand both sides of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sort of blinkered in that sense. I try not to be. Anyway. Let's get into some lineup building then for this upcoming weekend, because I've got a ton of lineups to get through. So I've got Ligue 1 in season, La Liga in season, Real, Super Rare. We've got Jupiler, we've got Eredivisie, we've got MLS. 3 lineups going out there. Got 6 lineups going out in Challenger between Rare and Super Rare. We'll have one little cheeky contender, and then all the classic lineups as well. Like I said, last week I had some really good finishes in classic. So it's weird. I almost have really good weeks in season, but nothing in classic, and then the complete opposite happens, where I have a really good classic week where I've earned a good amount of essence, but I've had a stinker not stinker, but nowhere near what I would want, ideally from an in-season week. So it's just the way it goes. That's just Sorare in a nutshell. And sometimes you have completely dud weeks and nothing happens. So yeah, just obviously being grateful for whatever comes my way, to be honest. But So the rules for this MLS Masters comp are as follows. You have to use all in-season cards. It's no 4-on-1. You can't use more than three players from the same team. And you have to have 2 players with an average of 50 below. Now, you'll see now why I'm so frustrated at this. Because Carlos Coronel is 50 on the dot, which is absolutely perfect. At home, New York derby, like Hudson River derby. Like, it's a not an easy game, but it's a game where I could see him scoring pretty well. Now, my favourite defender in the MLS, Noah Eli, is of course 51, which absolutely screws me because, if he was 50, I could go all out then and go Carlos Heel 70, Dennis Bouanga 69 L15, and probably Joseph Paintsill 63, and then I could, but I can't, right? It'll tell me now that isn't allowed. It says here you've entered too many players with an average of 50 or above. So, yeah, I'm in a tricky one there where I can't play, the desired lineup that I would like, to be completely honest. Now, of course, I could swap Noah Eli out, and I could play, if I wanted to keep the defensive stack, I could play Carl Duncan, right, who's at 60% right now. It's not like nailed that he's going to play, but if I find out that Duncan is starting, I'd be quite tempted to maybe play him as my, my 1 of 2 L15s below 50, which then allows me to play, a Paintsill in here. Or if I don't want to go Paintsill, I brought in 2 Fagundezes for like £5 each, who I think could score pretty well this weekend. I've got Ashley Westwood. I haven't got any like incredible options, to be honest, like outside of that. Like I don't have a Messi or anything. I'm doing it on a bit of a budget. Like I won Gil, I won Bouanga. I've had this New York collection for a while since the start of the season. So yeah, this is like ideal. I would say that's like my strongest team if I know Carl Duncan plays. But if he doesn't play, then of course, yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky. So let's just assume he doesn't play for now, and I am going to just play Noah Eli. I do have a bit of a contingency plan, and that is Luca Langoni, or Langioni, however you pronounce it, who also plays for the Revs at home to Atlanta. All my players are at home, bar Dennis Bouanga, but I trust Bouanga to bring home the goods. He's been on fire recently. Lots of goals, lots of decisives, linking up really well with Son. And yeah, Langoni is L15 below 50, so that's how I can get that in. So yeah, double forward at home. Obviously, the Revs hoping for a big Carlos Gil game. Like we haven't really had a Carlos Gil decisive for a little while, like 3 games ago. But before that, it was like 6 games ago. So yeah, really hoping he can peak in this game. I've got 5% collection on the New York set. I don't have that many collection bonuses on the other 2, only 2%. I'm gonna see if I can bump up their just regular bonuses by, yeah, if I go to level up. I can see here, so Langioni, I can increase his level in an hour. I'll definitely do that on Bouanga, 500 XP that I earned this weekend, and I'll definitely be doing that on Carlos Heel. Ooh, I could do it on these 2 as well, couldn't I? Those would be on, like I'd have Coronel on 16% if I do that, which could be massive, couldn't it? Like there can't be many 16% Coronels. There's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3, but yeah, that could be huge. But I want to be a little bit conservative with my XP for now, just because I want to really try and hit this challenger streak as well. So that's the MLS hot streak out the way. We'll just go in sort of numeric, well, whatever order Sorare put us in, and that is Ligue 1 next. And to be fair, Nice play Paris at home. I only have 1 in-season goalkeeper, so that looks like probably a Nice defensive stack as usual. Strasbourg are at home as well, to be fair. Dante is back from the dead, which is great. Not actually the dead, but he's been injured for a while. Midfielders are looking okay. I mean, Diego Moreira has been insane recently. So I'm quite tempted to maybe go with him despite playing Marseille. Tyler Morton's back from suspension. Dumby has gone on a bit of a couple of really bad games. And obviously my new signing, who's only at 70%, which kind of worries me a little bit. I'll have to keep an eye on that, but I am going to keep him in there for now over Moreira. And then I basically either go Diop or Guiri, or I play Greenwood, who's a classic, and then maybe double forward. Obviously, Greenwood and Guiri both play for Marseille, so I kind of like that, to be honest. Or I go double like the defensive stack of Nice, but to be honest, like I can't really trust in them, like to keep a clean sheet. So I don't think going double defensive stack makes sense. I'm actually going to play Moreira for now. Captain Greenwood away to Strasbourg. Obviously, both of them are playing each other. I think they both play on the same side, maybe, which is quite worrying. But Yeah, that'll be my League One team. I am in Division 1, which, like, if I'm on a low streak, like, I don't mind it if I'm in a good division, you know, because obviously there's still a lot to win and to be played there. So, yeah, that's the Ligue 1 comp. And next we'll get into La Liga. Now, I've actually got a nice little midweek sweat going on in La Liga Super right now with the budget boys. Dean Huijsen had a last man tackle added, like, after the game, and I captained him, being like the only like player that I was really confident in away to Levante. Ruben Vargas sadly came off the bench. I expected a bit of rotation. He was 70%. He came off and did a bit of all-around score. I had no other midfielder, to be fair, so he's all I had. And Puado scored in the 96th minute, like, and he played first, so I thought this lineup was completely dead. But apparently not. I've got my Oviedo boys to go against Barcelona this evening. So yeah, they're at home. I'm not expecting a clean sheet, right? But, like, you just never know. They just could be really, really busy, you know, as far as duels and stuff goes. And hopefully Escandel just gets a ton of, you know, save, you know, all round score with saves and stuff. So yeah, like, I'm sneaky confident maybe I can get into the top 20. I'm 120 points away now. I don't think it's out of the realm. Like, that can definitely happen. So yeah, hopefully, you know, if I can get a bit of midweek cash going on, obviously to knock down the the percentages we've got left on La Liga Super. I've won just under 650, and I've spent just under 1.2. So yeah, definitely not in profit yet, but definitely on my way. So hopefully that can hopefully get a little bit of midweek cash would be great. So for Super Rare then, the Oviedo boys are away to Valencia. People thought that Livakovic would start, didn't they? But that hasn't been the case so far. He hasn't started at all. A couple of my fringe Oviedo boys are starting to maybe play. Like this guy here, I think the right back got injured maybe, so he maybe plays. But Calvo seems to be still, you know, the trusty. Well, we don't know what happens this midweek, but this is just assuming that nothing terrible happens this midweek. Fornals is back. He was rested midweek against Nottingham Forest. Well, he came off the bench, which is great. So that's a great sign that he probably plays this weekend. And then, yeah, and sadly, Yamal's probably out. I think, saying that actually, I think I've heard he might come off the benches this weekend. We'll see if he's in the squad tonight. I don't think he will be. So yeah, the classic Cucho lives on. And for once, like I never normally am able to do this. And by do this, I mean get under the cap 260, because like Yamal's L15 is so high, it's really restrictive. But if I go with Javi Puado here over Ruben Vargas, whose L15 is now 63, both away. Puado's on pens, you know, Vargas is on like free kicks and corners and stuff, which is obviously something I really look for in players on Sorare. Like, this allows me to get, you know, an extra 4% on each player, which, you know, or on the lineup as a whole, which is really punchy, you know. Like, if Fornal scores 100, I get 205 points, you know, like, it's a lot of points. You know, and obviously if I play Vargas instead of Puado, that's not the case. Now, of course, like, these percentages only look great if they score well, you know, because it's even, you know, it's even more amplified. Like, you know, an extra 4% on 40 points doesn't really move the needle, does it? You know, it's 2 points or whatever. So, like, you know, you want it to happen, you know, when all the players sort of smash. Like, Valencia away for Oviedo isn't like a terrible game, is it? So I'm really sort of confident in maybe going for that, you know, the lineup less than 260. Now, not using Vargas kind of annoys me, because like he's obviously a really good player and he's been on fire. But I can definitely use him in rare, because I'm lacking midfield options. Like, he's first name on the team sheet, to be honest here. Arrizabalaga at home to Oviedo, so I've got both keepers playing against each other this weekend. If Mingueza is sort of on to play, I'm quite happy to risk him there. And then I've got Alexis Sanchez, who comes off the bench and seems to get decisives for fun. I do have Chira, but he is playing against my keeper, so that's kind of a tricky one. I crafted a Danny Rabber, but again, doesn't look like he's going to play. So I'm probably just, like, I could go with Cucho maybe, and then go with whoever my extra player is would have to be in season, which is, I think, okay. Yeah, I could go with maybe an Oviedo defender. I could go with Pedro Diaz. No, you know what? I'll go with Pedro Diaz. He's at home to Sevilla. I think he came off the bench against Atletico. No, yeah, he did. So he probably starts against Sevilla, but it's no guarantee. Puts me under the cap as well. If I hit the streak, amazing, right? Like, I've technically not spent anything on La Liga so far. Just obviously using my Super Rares down, and I crafted that Arrizabalaga. So yeah, kind of like just moneyballing it and seeing what happens. Now, I did mention I might play Bundesliga, and that is still the case after crafting that midfielder this past weekend. Where's he to? This guy here, Big Jan Thielman. I do have a Buonanni who moved from Nice, and he is in season still. So he could be my forward. I then have a Echeverri. I actually have a couple players, but they're all 20% on, which is obviously not ideal. Echeverri seems to be getting some bench minutes. Like, I'm not expecting this lineup to do anything, but getting teams into in season is like not a bad thing, I don't think, because you can win, some easy essence a lot of the time. I'd probably just play Vasilja in there. I wouldn't want to waste my classic Neuer here, because I'm not expecting this to do anything really, other than maybe pick me up some essence. But I didn't realize that Mads Pedersen, who I crafted a little while ago, he's been like out of the picture, but he's 10% on to start now, which hopefully means he comes off the bench. Basically, is what I'm getting at. I'm in D3. I don't care. It's literally just an essence grabber at best. Now to my least favorite in season team competition right now, and that is the Belgian boys. Now, nothing against the Belgian boys. I do really like them, apart from the fact that like Altwin de Wolf has now been benched, which is just great. So I'm another super rare keeper down. Verips finally has a good game. Like, if you're a Dender fan, there's not many watching this, if any. If you know who Dender are, there's not many good matchups for them, right? But home to La Louvière, they can't be many better than that, So I am praying that I can get something from this weekend in the form of maybe a streak of some sort, because I've got some good matchups here. Like, Dan Foulan's away to Zulte. Shrevers is at home to Anderlecht. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I've obviously got Janssen. I'm just seeing here my Diakate, who I bought on auction a few weeks ago. Came off the bench the first game. He actually started the second game. I didn't even realise that, but he's on to start against Ghent there. I didn't mean to do that. How do I get off this? I'm an absolute idiot. Yeah, he's on to start there, isn't he, against Ghent? I wonder if he's worth... I mean, he's not worth playing over Janssen, isn't he? Or is he? Sorry, sadly. Like, Janssen's pretty nailed on. And then I've got a bit of flexibility then on who my extra player could be. I've got 70 L15 points as well. Jesus. I could play the Lord. I could go with Zorgan. Zorgan at home to Westerlo feels pretty fun. But he's gone off the boil recently, hasn't he, a little bit? Started off like a house on fire. And then has kind of regressed a little bit. I'm probably going to have to just stick with the Lord, really, shouldn't I? I'll captain him as well. That is the first time I've looked at my Belgium team this season and gone, you know what, like, that actually looks okay. But, I'll end up not hitting it, the lowest streak, of course. But we all live in hope. And, yeah, a couple of Friday games there to get excited about. Now, the Eredivisie, like I said, I am jam-packed with Eredivisie sort of lineup, sort of conundrums, I guess, these days. I think Gramil came off the bench on the weekend, which is... got injured on the weekend, which is really frustrating. The Super Red lineup, as you know, not much thought goes into this other than plug and play. I just don't really have... I don't know, I just don't really want to, like, dedicate much more money to it. It was, like, a little fun thing to do when, as soon as the Eredivisie cards came out and they were dirt cheap. Like, everyone just didn't want to buy Excelsior cards, and I was like... I'll take them off your hands. Like, I'll take them off you. So I did so. Now this is the tricky thing. I've got so many chances to build lineups this weekend. Like, I've got 5 in-season keepers and stuff. But my actual keepers, like in-season wise, they're not really playing many good. Like, they're in really tough games. Like PSV Excelsior, Groningen Feyenoord. Go ahead, Telstar's pretty juicy. Volendam's wall isn't terrible either. And then obviously Ajax for my my Knack Breda card, goalie. So yeah, it's probably going to be a go-ahead stack. Again, they actually just kicked off 4 minutes ago in this midweek in the Europa League, I believe. So I'm going to go with, the bones of a go-ahead stack, depending on what happens this evening. Double forward with Edvardsen. Where's he to? Where is Edvardsen? There he is. And then as my extra player, I'm probably going to have to use Joey Bierman, aren't I? The big Bierman away to Excelsior, kind of betraying me a little bit, isn't he? Well, I'm betraying Excelsior in a way. But I think that's my best team on paper. Like, I'm not going for any bonuses there. I literally don't get any of the bonuses. But it is a D1. It's a D1 entry that I'm honestly quite confident in. I'm obviously back to streak 1, which is not that exciting, but it's better than nothing. I think the Volendam keeper's probably my next best. And then, yeah, Salah Ad-Din, if he starts for PSV, could be quite fun. Ressing's most definitely my best, in-season mid, but really tough game. Who do I have for classic forwards that could be quite tasty? Van Kruger's on to start, interesting. Taha. I've got Saibari. I wonder what why is he at 70? I wonder who's sort of, I can't remember the PSV sort of conundrum right now, but they've got so many players, but loads are injured, and it's quite confusing to, remember who the sort of midfield rotation could be and stuff. Yeah, so Till could play again instead of Saibari, which I guess makes sense. And Maro could play, and yeah, that's kind of the issue here. So this lineup is a bit of a punt, to be honest, but like I said, like the rest of these lineups aren't going to really do much just with the fixtures they're in. Like I'm very much up against it. I'll probably go with Taha there. Yeah, no, I got a captain Saibari on, haven't I? Just in case he does play, just in case he does sort of pop off. I'm going to leave the rest of the Eredivisie lineup just because they're not that exciting and they're a little bit time consuming. I definitely want to do my MLS lineups right now because I do have a D1, I have a couple of D2s, and yeah, I need to basically build the lineups that are going to hit me this third streak. Now, I don't think Inter Miami's lineups have been updated right now. Like, I think all the players are on like a flat 60 just for just like as a placeholder. Like, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think they've been updated. No, they haven't. Well, they were updated a day ago, but I think it says on the notes that, like, yeah, they're not official sort of updates. Yeah, everyone's on 60 basically. So I'm kind of going in blind here, but I am going to back Ustari for now. And then I'm going to go with Brian Ceballos, who plays for New England. Diego Fagundez is my midfielder. Painsil as my forward, and then I can use a classic. Obviously, it has to be a Vander, doesn't it? I do get the 2% bonus, which is fine. And that'll do there for lineup number 1. I think the target's 450 this weekend, which is pretty punchy. And then for the secondary team, I'm hoping and praying Mikjevic plays. Probably go Joe Waterman here at home. He started off pretty well for Chicago in the few games he's played. Ashley Westwood in midfield. Do I back Zaha? He missed a pen last week, but he's playing Montreal at home. Like, there doesn't really get many better sort of matchups than that. I do have another Bouanga, obviously a classic though. I've probably got to back Bouanga, haven't I? As much as he is away, I think Bouanga's definitely the play there. To double up with my, like, if Bouanga does well, like, I've got a good start in the Masters and I've got a good start in, the streak as well. Now, of course, if he doesn't do well, then it could be dangerous. Now, genuinely, I've not been as excited for a Super Rare lineup, or a lineup in general, really, for a long time in Challenger, just because I had that goalie bench, this guy Charles being benched by Vittoria, which is just an absolute killer. But I do have Shamal George and Callum Ward, who have started off really well in the Scottish League, and yeah, both have incredible games this weekend. At home to Dundee, at home to Aberdeen, who haven't scored a goal. George has the lower L15, and I do think he has a little bit better all-around score. Like, he's only got 1 clean sheet. Callum Ward has a couple, maybe 2, no, 1, sorry, as well. A couple of negative decisives in there as well. And Aberdeen are historically obviously a decent team, but they literally haven't scored a goal all season, which is a bit worrying. But I'm going to go with the less of the L15s here, because it does allow me to, work my way into a couple of fun players outfield-wise. Otamendi has been a joke, by the way, the last 2 games. Back-to-back 100s, and they're at home again. Now, it'll be my luck. I'll captain Otto. Like, every time I've played Otamendi this season, he's either done that, or he's done this, and I've not played him in any of the game. Well, I have played him, but, like, he hasn't sort of yielded me anything in the games where he's popped off, which has just been so frustrating. Decent amount of midfielders to choose from, but Bardi's at home. He's my classic unique, and then that allows me then to play my secret weapon, Ivan Dolcek. Look at this, lads. I bought 1 unique this season, in-season unique, because they give you 80% rewards boost. The classics give you 20% on top of, like, what you win. And yeah, I paid like just under 400 quid for this guy. It was a bit of a risk because, like, yeah, like it's a good amount of my budget. And yeah, he's been absolutely mental. Like, decisive in nearly every single game, and in the game he weren't, He got 16 all-around score. Like, he has been ridiculous, and they are at home against Kilmarnock, which is, on paper, a good little matchup. Now, I do have to play an in-season player here because I've already used Otamendi. So the contemplation is basically, do I play Zubkov, who is a set-piece taker for Trabzonspor? They are away, but it's a good game. But if I did do that, I wouldn't be under the cap. I'd be over it by 8. I do get the 2% bonus, not the 6. Or do I back either Fran Navarro at home for Braga, or do I back Tawanda, who, to be fair, has been quite good this year. He's a winger for Motherwell. Motherwell have been really, really good. Excuse me, you can ignore maybe that's his sort of year so that's his year so far. 3 goals in 4 games or so, 5 games. One of those were Rangers. Like, at home to Aberdeen, I've got to fancy him to get a decisive or 2. And if I do that, I'm just under the cap. And you know what I'm like with the cap. Like, I love trying to get it under if I can. If it's like miles over, I don't mind, because like those cards are probably going to smash type of thing. But like, if I'm in and around it, I try and make it work. And I think double forward there makes the most sense for me. And then I can use Zubkov in my secondary team, which on paper like won't have any uniques in or anything, but it'll still be like an objectively decent team. So it'll be, I've got the Gala boys, but I just don't know what Galatasaray are going to do. Like, they're just giving me such a headache right now. Let's go Navarro. So then that means I can either go extra player classic, or I can go defender classic. If I go extra player classic, I basically have to use either King or João Mendes. I'm quite happy to use King. It's kind of annoying because King actually plays with Shamal George for St. Mirren. Like, I could have a defensive stack there. But I think the most upside is by doing this, because then I can literally choose any of these. Like, I've got some really good sort of classic super rares here. Harris has been really good so far. Maxime's been amazing. I could even go with, the Bast. Akgun's been insane for Gala. He's been like the main man in the number 10. He's been really, really good. So yeah, I've got a couple of options here. I think Maxime is probably the play, to be honest, because he's just like on penalties and stuff, and yeah, he's definitely the probably the most peaky there, like fixture wise. Sadly, I can't put a third lineup in. But what I am really excited about is double Division 1 in Challenger. Finally, I've got a couple of chances at D1. I've had one D1 for a while, but not had multiple for all season. I did bring in that second George. I've got a really good sort of, I've got the options to play some really good lineups in Challenger this week. Shamal George, I know you're like, why am I picking that instead of Otamendi and Trubin? I will play Otamendi and Trubin in the secondary team, but like, this fixture is really, really good, and the L15 is so low, it means I can fit in, practically who I kind of want. And I did bring in a St. Mirren defender, Declan John, who's actually Welsh, so a little bit of bias here, but he has been taking set pieces. He's like their left wing back, and he can definitely peak. And for me to hit this third streak, what is it, 440? I'm gonna need peak scores. I don't want steady eddies. I need some big scores. And I think he can definitely provide that. Elliot Watt has been absolutely insane for Motherwell. He's been one of the most consistently high scoring players as a midfielder anyway in that Scottish league. Not that there's much competition, but you know what I mean. And then it's basically the Tawanda, like double up on the rare and the super rare, or Caridis is playing at home to Falkirk, and he's a Hart winger, really good little player. I've backed him from the start. Like, I've had 2 of him for a long time, and then that allows me to play anyone as my extra player basically. So it's probably going to be Trincao, isn't it? To be honest, like, Trincao's the most sort of 100 capable. Trincao, Pedro Goncalves, like, yeah, fine. Modric could be quite interesting. I did have Cameron Carter-Vickers in mind, but it looks like there's a little bit of jeopardy with him because they'll play midweek, won't they, Celtic? And this is going back to what I started the conversation off with, is like, some of the big teams like will rotate and it could get a bit tricky. So I think I'm going to go in with Trincao there for that extra player. Sorry, despite being away, I do kind of back him to do the business. And then for the second team, I will definitely use Trubin. I will back Otamendi. I know he's going to absolutely kill me this weekend. Sorry if I jinx him. Everyone else has to be in season from this point. Valleys has been really, really off it, hasn't he, recently? But I'm backing him at home there to maybe have a little sort of comeback game. Akken probably deserves to come in here, doesn't he? And then I've got 40 L15 left. 30, which doesn't really make too much sense to, well, I won't be able to fit someone under. So I'm just going to have to go with, what I think is the best play. And it's probably Stuart Finlay, isn't it? Finlay at home to Falkirk, one of their best scoring defenders. Or one of Hearts' best scoring defenders. I think I'm going to go in with that. Obviously give Otamendi the armband for him to just absolutely destroy me this weekend with a negative action. I can just see it now. I know I'm probably jinxing it, but I can definitely see it now, sadly. I do have one lineup in contender to do for that second streak. And, I mean, I don't know how I'm there, lads. I'm in D1 in contender. What has happened? Absolutely mental. I've been the most anti-contender guy on Sorare for so long. And now here I am playing John Tolkins and Fabian Krivaks and all sorts going on. So I think Cecinha's at home this weekend as well. I looked earlier this year. Cecinha at home to Ulsan. I am all over that. And I literally don't have that. As you can see, I literally have like 5 or 6 in-season cards. I'm just trying to moneyball my way into it. It's under the cap as well, which makes me obviously really, really happy. Even Nishikawa away there, like Tokyo Verde aren't even that good, to be honest. That's not to say that Urawa are definitely going to get a clean sheet because you can't bank on that. But I'm quietly confident about that contender lineup, especially if Cecinha pops off. Champion could be quite interesting. I'm quite inclined to go under 23 first, though. Let me do my under 23 Super Rare and Rare. And then I'll do Champion. And then I maybe do a little All-Star too. And then I'll probably call it a day there. Still only got one under 23 team in D1 in Rare, which is quite annoying. Sorry, I was just going to do Super Rare first just to get that out of the way. Who are my goalkeepers this weekend? Layson probably plays, doesn't he? Yeah, Layson and De Graaf are the choices. Layson at home to Anderlecht. De Graaf away to Zwolle. That's tough, That's really tough. Layson's been terrible. Or like Leuven have been terrible. Zwolle have been quite good. Like, De Graaf always gets a bit of AA, doesn't he? The issue is I'm going to get sucked in by the Astrolaga got benched, by the way, just as a little side note. I'm going to get sucked in by Layson just because of that low L15. If I get to the end of the sort of build and I've still got loads of L15 left, I'll be tempted to maybe swap him out. But for now, I'm going to just go with that. So Huyson's in there then. The Bast is quite dicey, isn't he? Like, I don't know if he's definitely going to play now. They've got a couple players back. My K-League boy has gone off the boil a little bit, which pains me. But Suwon are really bad. So I can't imagine he scores that terrible there. So let's throw him in there. Jack McGlynn's away. I'm actually in Nashville this weekend, so I'm sadly not going to watch the game. But yeah, Jack McGlynn will be in the same city as me, which is fun. Or I'll be in the same city as him. I don't know why I said that as if like I'm more important than Jack McGlynn, because I'm definitely not. But yeah, we'll be sharing the same city. By the way, keep an eye on Jordan James on loan at Leicester. Looks to be getting a little bit of all-around score, playing a bit further forward. But I do like the look of Diego Luna there at home to Austin. Tanner Tesman is away to Lille. Jank is at home to Istra. That's definitely piquing my interest a little bit. Krivak's away, isn't he? I've got to back McGlynn, haven't I? If I'm in the same city as him, surely gets a decisive for me. And then up front, this is where I've been really struggling for like options. Franjo could be the play, but does he get rotated out for Benfica? That's one of my big worries. Because he played midweek, but he did only play like 60 minutes, mind. Didn't score, which is a bit worrying. Just like as far as like picking for the next game. And Pavlidis, I think, got sort of decisive. Yeah, so like Sudakov, Franjo. Franjo is the play if he plays like, but I'm a bit worried he doesn't. So let's just see where we end up. Could go double forward with Maria. That kind of seems pretty fun. Jank is in there. Jalen Neal's on to play, but he probably doesn't score amazingly well there. I'm quite tempted to go Jordan James. So that does come under the cap. Away to West Brom. I'm not going to captain him. I was just looking. Yeah, so I'd be 7 points off. 7 points off. I don't think there'll be much difference between Tom de Graaf and Layson score, meaning that like I don't think either of them will get decisives. I don't think either of them will get decisives. I'm going to give Huyson the armband. It's a tough game against Atletico, but I do think it could be one where like he could be really busy. If he pops up with a goal, then obviously great. I could play a secondary lineup, couldn't I? But I'm going to do my under 23 first, like in rare, and see what I can come up with here. I tell you what, Dennis Simon has been unbelievable the last 3 games. They played Kaiserslautern at home. The only thing that puts me off playing him is like my collection points and stuff on him are really low. Like compared to Trubin, I've got him at like 22%. You know, it makes a big difference. I probably have to go Trubin for the first lineup just because of how powerful he is, to be honest. As much as I did want to go with Simon there. Tolkien's away. Eli's away. I've got to go with Inacio, haven't I, really? Despite being away. Antonio Silva's scoring really well right now, which is great to see. Gutierrez is at home. Paxton's at home. That could be quite fun. Oscar Gluch at home. 2 Neck Brada, though. Could be the one. I'll double up on McGlynn just because, like I said, I'll be in the same city as him. I could also double up on Frangio. I don't have many other great options, to be honest, so I might have to... Oh, wow. Kamaldeen Sulemana. No way. 84 points. Where did that come from? I have been waiting years for that to happen. Kamaldeen Sulemana, that is absolutely hilarious, by the way. It's got to be João Pedro at home to Brighton, his ex-club. That would be a calamity if I didn't play him there. And then Rocco Reitz at home. I mean, I'm not avoiding Pedri, but I'm a bit like, well, what happens tonight type of thing. Genk play tonight as well, so there could be a bit of jeopardy there, but they're away. Yeah, there's a lot of sort of bits on the line here midweek, so like things could definitely change here. But if Pedri is on to play, I'm obviously going to play Pedri, and I'll give him the armband as well. But there could be, like, for those type of players, like with the next midweek in mind, there could be a lot of rotation, you know. So just definitely, you know, just be wary of that. Just in case when you're building lineups. I'll do my champion rare lineup then, and then we'll finish with All-Star. And I'll probably leave it there. Neuer at home. Surely Bayern don't concede against Werder Bremen. Surely to God. Upamecano, Neuer then. I won't get I won't get any bonuses here, actually, I don't think, because I'm going to be using some punchy players like Kimmich's and probably Luis Diaz here as well. Yeah, Kimmich. Let's just do my Bayern boys. Like, I've got like the left-sided Bayern boys. I play them on the left side of the team sheet here. I do have a Jonathan Tah, but I just cannot get behind Tah at all right now. Like, he just doesn't excite me whatsoever. If we're talking peak scores, then it's probably going to have to be Klaus. Just in case, excuse me, just in case he gets, you know, an assist or something there. Arsenal playing Newcastle. Betis at home. I mean, it's got to be Lo Celso, hasn't it? But he started midweek, which is a bit worrying. Did he play 90 as well? Or did he get... Played 76. Surely Lo Celso plays there, doesn't he? You've got to think Lo Celso plays. Wilson away to Villa isn't terrible. But it's definitely not like my best lineup. Sort of capable, I wouldn't say. David Brooks away to Leeds. Probably not great either. Tchouameni away. Rocco Reitz is still up there, isn't he? Adrian Thomason. I think I'm going to go with Lo Celso for now. Depending on if that percentage changes or anything, I might go a bit more conservative. And then for the extra player, I've got a lot of players that are just like out injured or, you know, all sorts going on. Vinny in the derby could be quite nice. Bastoni away to Cagliari. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Bastoni. I'll back Kimmich, even though I can't remember the last time he scored well for me in a lineup. I get none of the percentage bonuses, but that's fine for D1. And then we'll finish on All-Star then. Oh, actually, before that, we'll have to do my tracker as well, won't we? I can't forget about the tracker. Let's finish on one All-Star lineup then, and then we'll call it a day there. We'll just do All-Star Super Rare. See what Super Rares I've got going on. And then, yeah, I haven't got many goalies, but Carl Darlow is on to play again, is he? That's hilarious. Go on, Darlow. The Welsh wizard, who isn't technically Welsh, but we'll definitely welcome him in. Tell you what, who is a Welsh... Well, actually, maybe... I don't even know if he was born in Wales either, but Chris Mepham does play for Wales. This will be fun, actually. Oh, I tell you what. I've got Issa Kabore, haven't I? Kabore just began his Wrexham career, by the way, with 2 assists. I'm going to throw him in that lineup there, and that looks beautiful, may I say. Vanaken away to Liège. I'll back him there. Harris, Gedson, Spartak have a really good game. Really good matchup, sorry. We've got Harold Wilson in there. Benjamin Andre is back from injury, which is great. I've got to back Harris for now, despite being away, because he is just a bit of a tank. Balikwish is at 90% at home to Hibs. Eunice Akgun is away. I've got to back the home fixture there. And then for my extra player, this lineup is actually making me quite excited. Let's go Gedson. I'll give the armband to the Lord because I obviously am obliged to. That's actually a fun Super All-Star lineup just because so many sort of Welsh players in there. Obviously, Cabora playing for a Welsh team. And yeah, I'm probably going to leave that there then. Let's get into the tracker and see if I can get all my players right for the upcoming weekend. If you don't know, if you're watching this new, I picked 12 players. I picked 12 players from those 4 leagues in the spreadsheet, and I'm trying to guess 12 players that are going to score above 60 or more, basically. Let me go to... How do I do this? Yeah. I just kind of had a bit of a brain fart. Let's go Prem first. Look at the fixtures. Tottenham at home to Wolves. Smells like Kudus, doesn't it? Yeah. Kudus. Chelsea, I've got to back João Pedro. João Pedro, Kudus. I don't have to pick just forwards. I can pick any position as long as they score above a 60 is the criteria. Brentford at home, Newcastle at home. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My computer's bugging out a little bit. Forest at home to Sunderland could be quite tricky, quite sneaky, sorry. I do like the Leeds situation though. Is there any, like, Man City at home to Burnley? Obviously I could just pick Haaland, right? But I want to give myself like a bit of a sweat, you know. I'm going to go with Anton Stach, who's been pretty fun so far for Leeds. League Un then. I don't want to pick the obvious ones. Like I want to go with like the sneaky, like there's something on the line. Like if picking Haaland, you're probably blank now, but picking Haaland against Burnley just doesn't feel fun. It just feels like cheating. Sorare Inside seems to be all over the shop right now. I don't know whether I'll be able to get this in. I don't know if it's my computer. Am I getting hacked? But whatever's happening, we are into... Who are Toulouse? Toulouse playing Nantes. Who is available for them? Yeah, let's go with. I don't know. Golbo hasn't been good recently. Mark McKenzie can score pretty well, but no one's tickling my fancy there. I'm gonna move on to a different team. I've got to back Klaus, haven't I? Come on. I've got to keep it in the gallery. Go Klaus. I don't want to pick any PSG players. That feels like cheating, kinda. Mets at home. Who have Mets got in their team that I recognise that could score above a 60? I've got to go with Hein, haven't I? Hein is an absolute goat. Habib Diallo is a good little player. Habib Diallo, sorry, is a good player. Then let's go with Lyon's a tough game. Lorient. I tell you, I'm going to go with. I really think is a good player. Is Ludovic Blas. Where's he to? This guy. Blas is a serious player. Keep an eye on him if you're not aware. Let's go to La Liga then. I'm going to back Fornals just because he's at home and I'm obviously giving him captain's armband this weekend. He's getting the privilege to captain the Super side. I'm sure he sees it as a massive privilege in his career. Barca at home, I kind of want to avoid. Villarreal maybe. Athletic Club haven't been great, have they? Athletic Club. Villarreal. It's got to be Pepe. Mika Tawadzi could be quite nice. I'm going to go with Pepe though, just because of like the AA. I think there could be a nice big score in there for Pepe. And my last pick in La Liga, Girona at home, Elche, Betis. Let's go Getafe. Getafe at home to Levante. I think I'm going to go with Luis Mia. Let's just see if he's on to play. He should be. Yeah, Luis Mia. And then we'll end it in the Bundesliga then. I'm trying to think back. Obviously, Bayern play at home, don't they? Probably going to avoid Bayern players just because of the obvious advantage there is to that. Let's go Bayern. We had Rocco Reitz in the gallery that has a good matchup. I don't know what's going on with Inside Lads. It's bugging out right now. I just want to click Bundesliga. No, I don't want Premier League. I want... Oh, lads, this is killing me. trying to think of the other good matchups. St. Pauli play Leverkusen. Let's have a look. Gladbach at home, Mainz at home, Wolfsburg, Leipzig, Bayern, FC Cologne, Freiburg at home. Let's go Grifo. Grifo's just an auto smash, isn't he? I tell you who's amazing for Freiburg is their keeper. Their keeper Atabolu is really, really good. I'm going to go Wolfsburg. I think Leipzig might concede a couple here. Lavoro. Let's go Pat. I've done with him already. I'm going to go Arnold. Trusty. I didn't spell that right, did I? Trusty Arnold. And then as my last player for this weekend's game week 13, 12 player picker. Let's go to St. Pauli maybe and hope Leverkusen maybe slip up. Let's go with Sinani. Sinani's a player that I can get behind. Okay, lads, that's going to be episode 9 concluded. I wish you all the best for this upcoming weekend. Thank you so much if you're still watching this. Like I have to cut this down because I've had to go look after baby trades and stuff. But yeah, the time is telling me an hour and 15. I know the video is not going to be that long, but I know it's going to be very long. So yeah, apologies for those that don't like the long ones. And obviously, yeah, if you do like them, then yeah, let me know in the comment section, because I have seen a few of you guys that do watch say you do enjoy the long one. So yeah, I appreciate all of you watching, no matter how long you end up watching the video for. But yeah, more so if you do watch to the end, it honestly means the absolute world to me. Like I said already, massive good luck this weekend. Good luck this midweek if you've got lineups going out. Comment below. I'll do a little giveaway in the comments. Just let me know your Sorare gallery name. Hype the video as well if you haven't done so already. Like after you've left a like on a video, it should give you the option to hype it. It's only on mobile, I think, but if you do so, it really helps me in the algorithm and stuff. It's completely free, and yeah, it means the absolute world to me, lads. So yeah, good luck this weekend for the 3rd time, and I shall see you guys in next week's episode.